So we already know dating is a major problem these days. People aren't dating, and there's too many conflicts, and there's too many people shit-talking behind people's backs. You will have heard the word red flag numerous times, or the word ick, or whatever, numerous times, especially on TikTok and things like that. But dating apps have been around for a very long time now, well over 10 years. Tinder's been around a very long time as well. And over them years, it's gotten its use out of it. A lot of people have used it. It's more of a hookup app. I think people use it to hook up with people rather than actually dating. Now, not to say that there aren't successful dates on Tinder. I'm sure there are quite a fair amount of successful dates. But for every successful date, there's probably 2 or 3 unsuccessful dates or 2 or 3 ignores. Of course, women are more likely to ignore a man on a dating app or swipe them off. And men are more likely to swipe, I think it's swipe left. I'm not too sure which way it is. I don't use Tinder. But there is a new app on the horizon. Now, this is not really a dating app, but it's more a expose app. An app called T is now on the top charts, on the top app store charts. T is a woman-only use app where users can anonymously share information and warnings about men to spot red flags and feedback. Now, it seems like a pretty harmless app. I don't see a problem with it, fair enough. However, I don't think it should be woman-only, in my opinion. If we're making apps like this, bearing in mind Facebook groups, I think, exist for this type of shit, that expose men for being trashy and stuff like that. Of course, there are, I think groups out there as well that expose women for being trashy. I don't get it. I think this is maybe to cause a bit of controversy. I'm not too sure what the exact... Well, there is a reason to why the CEO came out, but I'm guessing his other reason is probably to be a bit of an arsehole and maybe to try and gain some popularity. I'm not too sure. I don't know. This probably has in-app purchases as well, so people pay a certain amount. I'm not too sure. I think they have a verification thing. You have to take a selfie of yourself. And a few men have been posting on Twitter and X that they've used like a face filter thing to turn themselves into a woman or to make them look like a woman even. And they've tried to apply. I think someone actually got through with it, which is pretty crazy stuff. So they check. But the CEO, the founder of the CEO is a homosexual who created the app because his mum was DMing criminals. This is what he put out on... I'm not too sure where he put it out, but this is from the CEO, which is pretty crazy. T was born from a deeply personal mission to give women the tools they need to date safely in a world that often overlooks their protection. Yeah, I do agree with that. I think these days we do overlook the protection of women, although we do overlook the protection of children as well, unfortunately. So I guess there needs to be an app out there for... Why don't you make this app for, paedophiles as well, to let people know who the paedophile is and who to watch out for. That'd be a cool app. Maybe that's your next idea for an app. Founder Sean Cook launched T after witnessing his mother terrifyingly experience with online dating, only for being catfished but unknowingly engaging with men who had criminal records. Realizing that traditional dating apps do little to protect women, Sean knew something had to be changed. That's why he built T, the first ever dating safety platform for women. So the whole criminal records, what do you mean by criminal records? Do you mean someone who's burgled a fucking house or something like that, or stolen a packet of candy from the store? In my opinion, it seems a little bit flawed, that system, because I don't think someone shouldn't be allowed to date because they have a criminal record. Although, in all fairness, it depends what that criminal record is. If it's rape, stuff like that, yeah, I can understand. But again, you need to be a bit more specific on that, because I don't think someone should be... It's like banning someone from a job, or, not allowing them to ever get a job because they did something years ago that they was stupid, and maybe they've now overcome it and realised, okay, what I did back then was stupid. I realised that, you know. I guess it depends what criminal record it is. And I think it's your problem as well if your mother was doing that. If she knew about it, I don't know. Now, of course, this is from someone on X. As if dating apps weren't horrific enough for men, now women are doxing, gossiping and red flagging men. 1984 style using the App T dating advice, which is now 2 on the Apple Store. Need a version for men where woman's body counts and weight as shown. I'm going to get into that in a second, but there actually is one. Now, of course, avoid dating red flag men. So it's basically, it's laid out like you have 2 flag buttons. You have a red flag and then a green flag. And of course, people can make comments about that particular person. So I think anyone can actually post a man. Like, there's no checks to prove that person. There's no, like, you have to use a Facebook. You have to link a Facebook profile, you know, to prove that person is not just any fucking person you're actually posting. I'm pretty sure anyone can just post it, which is pretty crazy in my opinion. There's a phone number lookup as well, which I can say, again, I've always said this, and I'll say this again, this app is a fucking lawsuit waiting to happen. It is a lawsuit waiting to happen. There's not a chance that someone isn't going to sue the fuck out of this app because they're being falsely accused of something they haven't done and falsely doxed. No, you don't need to be showing someone's number. I don't give a shit. That's dangerous, that. You know, you talk, oh yeah, women's protection. Would you want men to have an app like this that did the same thing? No, you wouldn't, would you? No, I know for a fact you wouldn't. So why on earth have we got it this way? Or is double standards really playing a huge part in this? Which I think it is. And the fact that it's a gay man is kind of weird, but makes a lot more sense in a way. Background checks. So there's background checks on their convictions. Again, shouldn't you need like proof to back this up? You could literally be, surely, and I hope, I haven't got the app in my country unfortunately, but I surely hope, for LawSuit's sake and for the sanity sake of your business, and the sanity sake of everyone using that app, I really sure hope you've got checks in place to prove that when people are doing this sort of stuff, they're actually telling the fucking truth and not just able to put any garbage in. Because if that's true and they can put any garbage in, you got a flawed system, really flawed. And having number checkups and stuff like that, you can check people's numbers out and things, is dangerous in itself. I don't care what people say. So there are a few people who've posted. This guy is called Mookie. He's 24. Her Hidden Secrets, this woman is called. Dick Little can't hold his liquor, breath stink. Bed on the floor, OMG, alcoholic ass, not Mookie. Can you all drop these ads, thank you. Yeah. Again, you could just be posting anyone. Oh yeah, there is actually a picture here on X of someone actually trying to sign up. They put a wig on. You have to take a selfie so they can actually check you're a woman. I think they're all manual checked. Doing that. Someone put Brittany Hugo Boom. But this is only going to backfire and make men less likely to approach women. Like that's already not happening. Also, what if a guy is amazing and that girl is so upset that she lost him that she completely sabotages his reputation? That's why I'm saying, if you're going to have an app like this, if you're going to go through the actual effort to verify that if it's a woman that's signing up to the app, but you can't verify if the women are actually just bullshitting about this whole thing and not just trashing a man because, you know, this or that, because he didn't pay for a date, or he didn't want to pay all of the dates. unfortunately, there are women out there like that. If a man doesn't pay the fucking full date, he doesn't do 100% on the payment, then they will trash the shit out of him. And unfortunately, you might say, oh, that doesn't happen. Oh, that definitely does happen. You can say that on TikTok. I know TikTok isn't a representation for all women, but I can assure you a lot more women are doing that than you think so. And this is me not just I'm not trashing women. I'm not here to do this. And there are women who are calling this out. And I do think if you're going to have an app like this, there needs to be more in... I'm not really against an app like this, but there needs to be more done to protect the men. Because if men aren't even allowed to sign up to the app, which I think they shouldn't be allowed to sign up, but they should be allowed to see, in my opinion. Because I think it's a flawed system, a really flawed system. Really, really flawed system. You know, anyone could be posting anything about you. You don't even have a clue. Someone could be trashing your name all over the place. You can't even see because, well, unless maybe you have a woman friend and she shares them and says, whoa, look at this. This on the T app, you're on there. People are shitting on you and stuff like that. But I just think systems like this are flawed. I get it. I'm not against this. It's actually a really cool idea. Although I don't think people are going to really use it all that much for its purposes. You know, like rapists and stuff, filtering out the rapists, you know. No, it's just going to be used to trash men for fucking very minimal things. But hey, I don't know. I don't really know. Hopefully the CEO adds something to actually properly filter it out. So apparently someone called Jason Waterfalls, yeah. Let's have a look. Had my picture posted on the T app without consent. Filed a copyright/publicity complaint via Apple Legal App Store dispute form. Apple looped in T devs. Warned them post was gone in hours. If this happens to you, go through Apple since they have to respond. I guess that's what they're doing now to counter it. Although, how do you know that your picture's being posted? But the only way you'd actually be able to get through that and know that you've been posted is to have a female friend, like your mother or anyone in your family, to actually use their account. There's no way for you to see that, which in my opinion is just, it's like gossiping behind your back. It's a really trashy thing, really stupid thing. Although apparently there is a male version for the app. It's called T-Born Dating Advice. And it's a male equivalent version of the T app. It's got 1 star, which no surprise, people are shitting on that. It's basically just the exact same fucking app, just the opposite way round, which is funny as fuck. But apparently it's been taken down. Now I don't know whether that's because it copied the T app. I'm not too sure, or what. I just find it funny that they took that shit down pretty quickly. That's how we live in. The T app is not being used to weed out rapists. It's being used because women are embarrassed of the fact they are dating the same dude that ghosts them after one night. I think, to say the truth here, I think the T app is just exposing how women have shitty dating lifestyles, and it's mostly their fault. And that's not me blaming every woman. I've not been blaming women on this. A lot of women are saying this is a stupid idea, and while I do think this is in itself is not a bad idea, there just needs to be proper checks. There needs to be proper checks to prove that them women are actually saying what they're saying is true. It's tarnishing someone's reputation with only... It's like you're taking their word for it. It's like two of you are a crime scene or something, and there's one dead guy on the floor, you know, and both of you've got a gun. It's your word against, his. They don't know. I mean, they'll take both of you in, but... you're going to be arguing, it's, oh, it was him. No, it was you, it's him, type of thing. So, I just think there needs to be more to protect people. I get, and there needs to be more to expose people. But again, having the need to actually log in, you can only log it. You have to log in as a woman to basically see anything. In my opinion, is a flawed system. I think if you are a man, there should be other way for you to log in to make sure you're not being tarnished. Either that, or I don't know, but I can see a massive lawsuit coming. This is again, whoever released this app didn't do any sort of checking. And I really hope having your phone numbers there as well at that point is just doxing someone. I'm surprised. What's next? Adding their home address, stuff like that. You don't want to be doing stuff like that. You really don't want to be doing stuff like that. It's getting towards a point now where it's just being creepy. It's doing what women don't want men to do, but they're doing it, type of thing. It's a flawed system, and I think it's going to be abused so much that a lawsuit's going to drop, and the CEO's just going to close the app because, well, he can't afford the lawsuit, or maybe a cease and desist. I'm not too sure. Something's going to end up dropping, but there. He's an arsehole. Under your picture on the T app is like bringing an 800 credit score to a dealership. Your future wife is on the T app IG page begging to be let in. Wow. Yeah. I just think it's a flawed system. When you check T and he has a felony, 2 baby mamas, and 29 girls complaining about him. I think people are just mocking it mainly, and to be fair, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it just needs more checks to be in. I'm not too. How do they do the checks for the felony thing and stuff like that? I think with all undone, I don't think it should be a bad lawsuit. But I mean, someone's going to still try and sue. But yeah, Jeremy. Oh, there's someone put I think that guy's from Phineas and Ferb. Jeremy saw him talking to some girl outside the smoothie place. Is this what summer vacation is going to be like? My homegirl fuck with him. They are on and off. But she bought him that what? That's not... I can't tell if this is just bait or not. It probably is bait. I'm not too sure. Yeah, but people are trying to sign up. Men are trying to sign up. Which is quite hilarious. This is another one. Ray Zua, 25, posted, "Good dummy, what's tea? Couldn't stop checking his coins during the first date. Bed on the floor, wouldn't pull my hair, and threatened to call my father. Matcha twink, matcha ass. Won't shut up about Chinese peptides." What? So they're just... I kind of guess that would be the first thing to fucking come out. Shaming men because they don't want to buy the date or they're broke. But no, you can't shame women for being broke because that's nasty. But men, yeah, you can shame them all you want. You broke ass man. I just find it stupid. People are actually reporting the app. Report a problem. It's a report abusive, offensive, illegal, or abusive content. Wow. I don't know if it will be taken down. I'm not too sure. I understand that they're stopping and helping women with it. Needs to be more checks. And it can't be just women just trashing on a man because he didn't pay on the first date or didn't do 100%. Like, oh my god, you didn't give 100%. You only did 50 on the fucking bill. That's all women care about these days, fucking money. Jesus. Yeah, but I'm waiting for this app to end up getting sued, which it will. I really wouldn't be surprised at all if this shit gets sued. But I guess we can only wait and see. Some shit happens like this.